Hello, my name is Teresita Blanco, the Artsy Sister, and today I wanted to talk to you about my 9 favorite video games that render food very well. Like, I wanted to make it to like 10, but I was only able to collect 9 because this is just based on like, well, other people do like lists based on like rankings and online stuff. I try to do my gaming list based on games that I have actually played. You know, so then it's just not me talking about whatever, it's just games that I have played that have, when I see their food on the big screen, they have actually made me hungry. So the first one on the shopping block is Final Fantasy 15. Like, if you put a gun to my head, I wouldn't even be able to tell you what the plot of that game is about. All I remember is just driving around with my friends and like eating and exploring random dungeons and then eating some more and then eating. But yeah, and just searching all over the huge overworld map for like different food recipes so that I can see all of the food recipes that show out there. But yeah, that's... Yeah, it's funny that you can't eat chocobos. Like, is it that their meat is poison or is it that the chocobos are like Final Fantasy's horses that, you know, you wouldn't eat a horse, but I have known people that have eaten horses. Eating horses is very common in the old country. Cuba, whatever.
Cubans eat horses.
Yeah. And also turtles. Like turtles, I heard that the steak of turtle is very good. Well, I haven't eaten horse. Well, that I know of, because like, you know, when you're a small kid, your grandma puts food in front of you and then you eat it with having blind faith that what she's serving right in front of you is steak and not horse meat. So maybe I ate horse, maybe I didn't. I wouldn't know. And how did this become a blog about whether I ate horse meat or not? Okay, if it makes you feel happy to think that I ate horse, then by all means believe that. Alright. The next video game food that I wanted to show you is the food from like the Legend of Zelda. The one more specifically is like the Breath of the Wild. It has more than 100 food combinations and cute little food sprites.
You can even cook a fairy.
You can even cook a fairy in there. You throw it in there and then like she flies away before she gets overcooked. But she does spend. But it has her fairy essence into it because while she's fleeing from like the lunatic Link. Because he threw her in a cooking pan, she leaves around fairy dust, and then that fairy dust, it's like you know how you put a pint, you know how fairy dust is an actual spice in that game. So the next time you're playing Breath of the Wild, don't forget to throw into the cooking pot a fairy.
And then the fairies outside in the yard are like, what?
Yeah, and then the fairies in the yard are like, what? And then they'll be like, wait, you see fairies in your yard? And then I'll be like, shut up. Alright, the next one is, this is more a la cartoony type of food. Well, so was the Legend of Zelda, but whatever. Cartoons are edible, or at least in Toontown. And this one is Little Dragon Cafe. That like the story is about a twin brother and sister that are raising a little dragon because they tell a sketchy magic guy told them that the dragon was gonna be able, had the power to save their mother who got like very sick because the dragon blood made her sick. So then it's just about overfeeding your dragon various foods, and depending on what you feed your dragon is the type of color that he changes. And he has a bunch of like standard changes, like deviled egg is a very good. Like I like feeding him a lot of deviled eggs because it only requires one ingredient and it's like a high level type of food, and it also makes him like the black dragon calamite. I have fond memories of calamite. More like I just run away from him and dodging around him. You can actually most people just try to tank him, but you can actually defeat him if you go also for a light build. And by a light build, I mean like wearing like the lightest armor and the ring that gives you like the special dodge roll that gives you a higher window of invisibility. But what am I saying? We're talking about food. Yeah, like this game like renders a bunch of various foods and also like drinks and frappes and stuff. Like the next game that I wanted to show you is an indie game called Noor. Like, I don't know, depending on when you watch it, this game may be free on like the PlayStation and the PlayStation Plus store. That's where it is, right? And like it just as it says, you play with your food, and each of the stages is about you messing around with various foods and dishes, and it does like very nice hyper realistic versions. So not just breakfast, but also like ice cream and lots of, and even like a vending machine, just a variety of menus and stuff. And sometimes, depending on how you mess around with the food, it's almost a weird food fairy, and I'm like wondering what the hell. But then I mean, it's probably just a weird Japanese game. I don't question the food fairy, but there is gonna be a weird food fairy depending on how you interact with the food in the game. But the one thing, can you actually eat the food in Noor? Is there something that is the food in Noor? Not that I remember.
You can do anything with it except eat it.
Yeah. No, but tell me any video game wise, like it's very weird video game to show somebody actually like taking, like they sort of like play around with the food, you know, with their hands, but while they pretend to eat it, but you never actually see one take a food asset and then stick it in their mouth.
Except for Pokemon Sword and Shield, that they have a eating animation.
Yeah, and also Star Ocean. Star Ocean: The Last Hope. Remember that guy that was eating steak, and then like he tells the cook that his steak is undercooked, and then like a space dragon shoots fire at him for like halfway across the galaxy, and then it overcooks his steak and him as well. Yeah, that's the type of crazy thing that happens in Star Ocean, in Star Ocean: The Last Hope. There's a space dragon. Don't quite.
He cooks a steak of a politician.
And he cooked the steak of a politician halfway across the galaxy. Because that attack shot out from really far away. And for all we know that laser beam attack, yeah, but and it also shoots laser beam.
You're eating a steak, and then suddenly a dragon from like a million galaxies away destroys the earth and cooks your steak at the same time.
Yeah, like from the afterlife, you're gonna be thinking like, what the hell happened to me? What the hell indeed. Oh yeah, and this one is the Pokemon food or Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like that one is, not only does it have like a Pokédex, it also has like a food dex with 150 different combinations of food that you can record in. But not so much a variety of food per se, just different combinations of curries. Like if you're like a curry fan, then like seeing lots of variables of curry food, then Pokemon Sword and Shield is the game that delivers on that department. And sometimes they look like Eevees and Pikachu, but sometimes they resemble more what you think of when you think of curry. Like curry is just like rice and like spicy stuff. Or something else, I don't know, I'm not extra ingredients. I'm not big of a curry eater because I don't eat rice that much. The next game that has a lot of like hyper realistic food is Senwa Kagura Bon Appetit. Like even right at the foreground you see it has all of the food like cotton candy, donuts, and even like main plate. But the types of food that you see there are the types that it's just what like Japanese folks like in it. Also the frappe. But as the title says, it's a Senwa Kagura game that 100% focuses on like food. So yeah. And also based on and even some of the characters I kind of have dressed after food. We having like little hats that resemble shrimps and stuff. So If you like same more character games and also food, yeah, but there's a reason why. Bon appetit. There's a reason. This one's not even listed anymore. So if you can like find this game out of any weird corner of the internet, yeah, give it a playthrough, but only if you're over 18. or just do whatever you feel like, and don't tell them don't tell anyone that I told you. I just do whatever you want, man. Like, I'm not like a gaming Nazi that tells people what they shouldn't play. I tell you what's fun to play, and then you decide as a smart type of person. This one is like the food from Skyrim, and the one that all of the NPCs are always like complaining about is the sweet tart. And then right at the center is the sweet tart, the most famous food in Skyrim. but more than that food, there's also like, even in the DLC areas, they had like unique foods. And in the Home and Wine, if you get like the Home and Wine DLC, it also has more foods into it. But basically, just to give it like a nice look, like, you can heal by like eating food, but not really that much. And I don't remember if foods give you like a status buff or anything. Like, you can just
there's the home cooked meal buff that you get if you cook in your
yeah, like if you're cooking your food in your home and then you eat it, then you get a buff of the home cooked meal. But most of the time it's like, well, you gotta consider, you go to like a weird dungeon and then you find like some food there and then you eat it and then you be like, you have no idea how long the food's been there. Because like the food in Skyrim, they don't have like a expiration date, you know. You may find it like an ancient dwarven ruin that nobody's been there in like a million years. And then you find a beautiful sweet tart, and then you eat it, but you don't like get access for it, and not even the roaches. You don't know how many roaches pass over. And apparently there's no ants in Skyrim because.
Oh, yeah, yes, they are. If you look in the ground, you can see ants walking from time to time, but they don't go for the food.
Yeah, they don't go for the food. Yeah, that's weird. I guess they prefer to eat dragon. Yeah, you never see foods with ants in Skyrim. Like,
that's like a feature that nobody pays attention to.
The small detail.
In Skyrim have like their own little thing and everything.
Yeah, like my brother, I don't know if you can hear, my brother, he said like that the ants in Skyrim have like their own little walking routine, and just the same way as all of the characters are like roaming around and stuff in a preset morning to night routine. The same thing with the ants. And that's very cool for like a game that is like, right now officially would be more than a decade old. Like, when did Skyrim come out?
I think it was 2003. It's old.
No, 2003, that's more. No, Dragon Age Inquisition came out first and then Skyrim. So, meh. Whatever, it was the time period where it was doing. If you know which one came first, Skyrim or the other one, then put it in the comment. But yeah, the sweet tart. And also varieties in drinks and stuff. Yeah, and you can get in Skyrim like the drunkard status effect. You can, if you drink a lot of alcoholic beverages, it makes like the scream all wiggly and stuff. And you get like a debuff for like being drunk all the time. That could be an interesting run in Skyrim, the drunken master run, where you try to like constantly be drunk all the time in Skyrim. Just or you get drunk before every battle, and then you try to fight it with like the screen jiggling all the time, like the drunken master run. That could be something we could do.
We totally do that when we do the Skyrim.
Yeah, just do. Yeah, that could be a weird, crazy shit. Whatever.
And you fight with nothing but martial arts and guns.
Yeah, and that is actually a build to fight with goblins. Like, I remember that we actually did once a run where we only fought with goblins. We used the ebony armor, which combined with since it's ebony, the fists take away a lot, and also the armor, it does passive damage because it attacks. So then it just made a fifth run of Skyrim feasible.
So how do you punch a dragon down?
We actually did.
Oh yeah.
Well, we use Dragon Run and then we run up to the dragon and punch it. So it's a punchy build. It's a punchy one, but also with magic because in order to deal with range. But yeah, that would actually make it a much lighter because we wouldn't have to be worrying about weapons. We could just throw the weapons out the window. But we're getting sidetracked. The next one that I wanted to mention is the Ramen Sensei. Like, while the Pokemon Sword and Shield hyper focuses on Curry, the Ramen Sensei is just about ramen, and you'll be surprised. Like, it's pixel art, but it's like very hyper realistic type of pixel art, which is funny calling realistic like stuff's little pixel. But yeah, it renders very well the steaks and all of the extra ingredients that you put in the ramen, and it even varies the length of the little ramen pieces. It's like a very good food simulator. I'm gonna see about like doing like the 11-hour stream of this like soonish. Just a bunch of Kairosoft games that I played, but yeah, I like the food ones. Oh yeah, this is the last food one that I wanted to show you is the Wisher. Just the same way that like the Ramen Sensei, the same way that Skyrim had like a lot of food variety, the thing was with the Wisher. That was something else that was sadly missing of like the Wisher TV show. Like wasn't like a lot of food variety. They weren't even remotely close to the food. But I know for a fact that the American producers on a whole, they tend to avoid scenes with food like the plague, because since they like to do a lot of cuts in order to drive the actors to madness, if they gotta keep eating the same piece of chicken leg, after a while it's gonna get like cold and awful, and then the actor's gonna lose his freaking mind. Or he's gonna like, yeah, so then like they don't do food, or usually the food that's displayed there is just like plastic food, but cause food spoils. But that's why I think the reason I was thinking, but at least in the video game world, they have in the Witcher game, the Witcher 3 more specifically, they have a bunch of food, and sometimes even food that are specifically related to certain areas. Like as far as like characters, the people from Skelliger eat more fish dishes, and like the people from that other place, from the main town area, then they eat more meaty stuff. Like people don't give enough credit to like the attention to detail that they show there, as far as to show like the lore, as far as world building is concerned via food. But cause like when people are doing world building, they tend to like not hyper focus too much on the food, like, but it's just a good detail. But then again, maybe I'm raving about food because I'm kind of hungry. Alright, so then that's the last food scene that I wanted to talk to you about, the food from The Witcher. I hope you have fun with me ranting about food for 20 minutes. Bye bye and God bless.